God's chosen ones, the time has come. 144,000 rise in power tonight across realms. If you are listening to this, it is not a coincidence, it is a spiritual symptom, a symptom of awakening. Do you feel it? Have you been feeling that strange stirring in your soul lately? That unexplainable sense that you're different from everyone else around you? That overwhelming feeling that you were created for something extraordinary beyond this physical world? What if I told you that right now, at this very moment, the veil between dimensions is the thinnest it has been in over 2,000 years? The spiritual realm is aligning tonight, and the 144,000 chosen souls mentioned in Revelation 7:4 are being called to unite, not physically but spiritually. Your presence here, watching this message, is the confirmation that you might be one of them. Look at your life, the struggles, the isolation, the feeling of being misunderstood, the synchronicities and the repeated numbers you've been seeing. The dreams that feel more real than reality itself. These were not random, they were preparation. The darkness recognized who you were before you recognized yourself. That's why your path has been harder than others. The enemy has been trying to distract you, to keep you from discovering your true purpose. Despite everything, you found this message today. Comment, "I am awakened right now," if you feel something powerful stirring within you as you hear these words. Write down the number 8 if your heart is fluttering in this moment. Tonight is not like any other night. The spiritual frequencies are merging into one unified force. Some will experience deep peace, others a surge of electrifying energy. Many will have visions or prophetic dreams, but all of the chosen 144,000 will feel it, that undeniable knowing that you're exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you were meant to do. The enemy is terrified of this moment. They know that once the chosen ones unite in spirit, their grip on this world weakens and the light will overpower the darkness. This is why you're here right now. This is why you couldn't look away. This is why something deep inside you is saying, "This message is for me, chosen one." Are you ready to step into your divine purpose? Have you always felt like an outsider, even among your own family, like you're watching the world through a different lens than everyone else? Have you carried a weight of knowing things before they happen, yet couldn't explain how? You are not like other people, you feel separate. You see things they don't see because you are one of the few, one of 144,000. Remember your childhood, while others played carelessly. Something in you remained watchful, observant, different. That wasn't loneliness, that was preparation. Your spirit knew what your mind didn't yet comprehend. How many times have you awakened from dreams so vivid they felt more real than your waking life? Dreams that showed you events before they happened, voices that guided you away from danger. That divine connection has been with you since birth. The book of Revelation speaks clearly of this divine selection, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Revelation 7:4. The seal isn't a physical mark, it's a spiritual awakening. It's the reason you've spent your life searching for deeper meaning when others seemed content with a surface-level existence. It's why material possessions never fulfilled you the way they seemed to satisfy others. Think about it. Why do you feel such deep compassion for strangers? Why do you sense energies that others ignore? Why do random people often share their deepest secrets with you within minutes of meeting? Because they recognize something in you that they can't name. A light, a frequency, a divine appointment. Your entire life story suddenly makes sense, doesn't it? The unexplainable pull towards spiritual teachings, the strange coincidences, the way certain biblical passages seem to leap off the page and speak directly to your soul. You've been searching, but in truth, you've always been found. The isolation you felt wasn't rejection, it was protection. While others were being programmed by worldly systems, your spirit was being preserved for this moment in history. Every relationship that inexplicably ended, every job that didn't work out, every path that seemed blocked, these weren't failures, they were divine redirections. Can you feel it now? That quickening in your spirit, that recognition deep in your soul. That's not emotion, that's confirmation. Right now, across America, from the crowded streets of Manhattan to the quiet farmlands of Kansas, others like you are receiving this same message. Elderly widows in Florida, veterans in Texas, retired teachers in Oregon, all different on the outside but carrying the same spiritual calling. Do you know what happens when isolated embers come together? They create an unstoppable fire. Ask yourself, why tonight? Why now? Why has everything in your 60, 70, or 80+ years of life led you to this precise moment, watching this precise message? Because the world stands at a tipping point. Because darkness has grown bold, thinking the light has dimmed. Because the enemy believes he's won. But what the enemy doesn't understand is that God's timeline is perfect. The 144,000 weren't meant to recognize each other until this exact moment in history. Tonight, as you sleep, your spirit will join with the others. Some of you will remember it as a dream. Others will simply awaken with an unshakable knowing. A few will experience it consciously, a sensation of your spirit rising, joining a gathering unlike anything earthly eyes have seen. How will you know this is real? Because after tonight, the doubts that have plagued you will dissolve. The purpose you've been seeking will crystallize. The divine assignments you've been prepared for will be revealed with stunning clarity. For decades, you've carried pieces of a puzzle without seeing the full picture. After tonight, the fog will lift, and you'll understand not just what you're called to do, but why you specifically were chosen for such a time as this. But first, you must prepare yourself for this divine appointment. Your spirit must be ready to receive what heaven is about to pour out. How do the chosen ones prepare for such a sacred moment? What separates those who will fully receive this divine download from those who might miss it entirely? The answer may surprise you, but it will change everything, revealing spiritual truth. Listen closely, chosen one. What I'm about to reveal isn't taught in churches or spoken of in the streets. A spiritual war has been going on for thousands of years. You are not an ordinary human being. You are a warrior of light sent here to awaken humanity. Look around you, the division, the hatred, the confusion, the endless distractions pulling people deeper into spiritual sleep. Do you think this is by accident? This is a calculated strategy by forces that understand one terrifying truth. If humanity awakens to its divine power, their control ends immediately. The battle between light and darkness isn't happening somewhere distant, it's happening inside you. Inside your neighbor, inside every soul walking this earth. But most people are completely unaware they're even in a battle. They're too busy scrolling, consuming, arguing, sleeping through their divine purpose. Has your life been harder than others? Have you felt attacked, isolated, misunderstood? That's because the darkness recognized your light before you did. The enemy knows who you are, even if you're still discovering it yourself. The book of Revelation speaks directly about this moment we're facing. Chapter 7 foretells us, "And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel." But this isn't just about ancient Israel. This is about spiritual Israel, those whose souls were marked for this exact moment in history. The 144,000 are those who carry the frequency of awakening, scattered across the earth but united in divine purpose. The number 144,000 isn't just a number, it's a vibrational code, a spiritual frequency that activates something dormant within the collective consciousness. When these souls align, as they will tonight, it creates a resonance powerful enough to crack the matrix of illusion that's kept humanity enslaved for millennia. Think about it, 144 is 12 times 12, representing divine governance and completion, multiplied by 1,000, which signifies divine completeness and the glory of God. This isn't random, this is mathematical precision in divine design. The forces that want to keep humanity in ignorance understand this code. They know that when the 144,000 chosen ones awaken and unite their consciousness, their system of control begins to collapse. Why do you think there's so much distraction, so much fear being pumped into the collective, so much division between people who should be standing together? They are terrified of you, chosen one. Not the physical you, but the spiritual warrior you truly are. They've seen what happens when even one soul fully awakens to their divine power. Imagine what happens when 144,000 unite in perfect spiritual harmony. the veil between dimensions thins, truth floods in, and the illusion shatters. If you're feeling a resonance with these words right now, if something deep within your soul is stirring, it's because you recognize this truth. Your spirit remembers what your mind has forgotten. You've been carrying this light lifetime after lifetime. The weight of it has often felt unbearable. The loneliness, the feeling that you don't belong here, the deep knowing that there's something more to this existence that others can't seem to see. Tonight, that isolation ends. Tonight, in the spiritual realm, the 144,000 will unite their consciousness, creating a grid of light around this planet so powerful that nothing can stop the awakening that follows. If you know you are chosen, type 144K in the comments right now, so the heavens will see you are awake. Let your presence be known. Let your light be counted. This isn't about religion, this isn't about doctrine or dogma. This is about the awakening of divine consciousness within humanity. This is about breaking the chains that have kept God's children in spiritual amnesia. The darkness knows its time is short. That's why everything feels so chaotic right now. That's why you've been facing spiritual attacks like never before. The enemy is desperate because they can feel the power of the 144,000 rising. But listen carefully, chosen one. No matter how dark it seems, remember this truth. Light always overcomes darkness. Always. Not by fighting it, but by simply being what darkness can never be. Illuminated from within. Your struggles weren't meaningless. Your pain wasn't punishment. Every trial you've endured was forging you, preparing you, strengthening you for this exact moment in cosmic history. The question isn't whether you're chosen. The question is, are you ready to embrace your divine mission fully, without reservation, without fear? Because tonight, everything changes. Tonight, as the 144,000 unite in the spiritual realm, a new chapter in human consciousness begins. And you, chosen one, you are not just a witness to this sacred moment. You are essential to it. Tonight's event is monumental. The world doesn't know what's happening, but on the spiritual plane, 144,000 souls will unite. A vibration will spread throughout the dimensions. The book of Revelation speaks of this gathering, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Revelation 7:4. This isn't just ancient text, this is happening now, to you. Do you understand what this means, chosen one? While others sleep tonight, while the world continues in ignorance, a divine convergence is taking place in the spiritual realm. Can you feel it already beginning? That slight trembling in your chest that isn't quite nervousness, isn't quite excitement, but something deeper. Let me tell you exactly what will happen to you tonight. As you lay down to rest, as your physical body relaxes, your spirit will be drawn to this sacred gathering. You will feel a slight vibration throughout your body. Your soul shakes. Tears may flow, not because of sadness, but because of longing, the recognition of finally coming home. Some of you will experience prophetic dreams so vivid they will feel more real than your waking life. You'll find yourself in places you've never been physically, yet they'll feel familiar. You'll see faces you don't recognize with your eyes, but your soul will know them. Others will suddenly awaken at exactly 3:33 in the morning, the hour when the veil between dimensions is thinnest. You'll feel a presence, a comfort, and a knowing that transcends human understanding. Have you been seeing repeating numbers, 111, 222, 444? Have familiar songs suddenly taken on deeper meaning? Have strangers looked at you differently, as if they could sense something about you? These are the signs. The universe has been preparing you for this moment. Why do you think you've struggled so much in this life? Why have you felt so different, so misunderstood? Why have your burdens seemed heavier than others? It's because the enemy knows who you are. The darkness recognized your light long before you did. Every hardship you've endured was an attempt to dim your light, to make you forget your divine purpose. But you survived. You're here. You're listening to this message right now. That alone is proof that the light within you could not be extinguished. In Ephesians 6:12, the Bible tells us, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. This battle has been raging since the beginning of time, and tonight the chosen ones will unite in a way that will shift the very balance of this spiritual war. When it happens, you'll feel it in your body first, a warmth spreading from your chest outward. Your fingertips might tingle, the hairs on your arms may stand up. For some, there will be a gentle buzzing in your ears, the frequency of divine communication opening. You might feel suddenly lighter, as if a burden you've carried your entire life has been lifted. Clarity will wash over you like a wave. Questions that have haunted you for years will suddenly have answers. Are you ready for what this means for your life? After tonight, nothing will be the same. You will walk with a new purpose, a divine certainty. People will notice the change in you, though they won't understand it. Some will be drawn to your light, others will resist it, feeling threatened by what they don't understand. Will you have the courage to stand in your truth when those closest to you question your transformation? Will you remain steadfast when the enemy intensifies his attacks, knowing that your awakening threatens his control? Comment, "I am ready right now," if you feel it happening to you already. Don't just watch passively. Declare your readiness to the universe and to the other chosen ones who are gathering. The energy of tonight's convergence will continue to ripple through your life for days, weeks, even months to come. You'll find yourself drawn to others who are part of this divine mission. Conversations will take unexpected turns. Opportunities will appear where there seemed to be none. This isn't fantasy. This isn't metaphor. This is the divine plan unfolding exactly as it was written before time began. Tonight, as the 144,000 unite, the first wave of awakening begins. But this is just the beginning of what's to come. The question isn't whether this gathering will happen. It will happen with or without you. The real question is, will you accept your place among the chosen? Will you step fully into the power and purpose you were created for? But before tonight arrives, you must prepare yourself. The spiritual realm demands readiness, and there are forces working against you even now, trying to distract you, to make you forget, to pull you back into sleep. How do you prepare for such a momentous spiritual event? What must you do to ensure you're fully receptive to tonight's divine alignment? Tonight is not just another rotation of our planet. Wake up. This is the moment the forces of darkness have been dreading for millennia. The spiritual realm is being set ablaze with divine light as we speak. Can you feel that pressure in your chest right now? That's not anxiety, that's your spirit recognizing a truth your mind is still catching up to. I need you to listen carefully now. What I'm about to reveal isn't for everyone. This message will penetrate some souls and bounce off others. If you're still watching, it's because something greater than yourself has kept you here. Your spirit knows what your mind questions. Your soul recognizes what your logic denies. Pay attention now. The veil between worlds isn't just thinning, it's being torn open. The connection is expanding. You are being activated. You are receiving divine downloads. Energy opening phase, the divine activation. The connection is expanding. You are being activated. You are receiving divine downloads right now. As you're watching this, something extraordinary is happening within you. Can you feel it? That vibration, that subtle energy, that knowing. Your spiritual DNA is literally being recoded at this very moment. The veil that has kept you trapped in the illusion is thinning. The matrix that has held you captive for so long is weakening its grip. Have you been experiencing any of these symptoms lately? Increased intuition, knowing things before they happen, sudden expansion of consciousness, seeing beyond the physical realm, unexplained emotional release, tears flowing without warning, or perhaps that profound feeling of suddenly remembering your soul mission? These aren't random occurrences, they are spiritual symptoms of your awakening. The Bible tells us in Joel 2:28, "And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit on all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. That time is now. Look at the world around you, the chaos, the division, the spiritual blindness. Do you think it's an accident that everything seems to be reaching a breaking point at this exact moment in history? Of course not. The enemy knows what's happening. They can feel the shift. They know that when the 144,000 chosen ones unite in the spiritual realm tonight, their control system begins to crumble. In Revelation 7:3, the Bible clearly states, "Do not harm the earth or the sea or the trees until we have sealed the servants of our God on their foreheads." And I heard the number of the sealed, 144,000, sealed from every tribe of the sons of Israel. But here's what they don't want you to understand. This sealing isn't happening in some distant future. It's happening right now. It's happening to you. Think about your life for a moment. The unexplainable hardships, the feeling of not belonging, the constant sense that you're different from everyone else, the intense spiritual attacks when you've tried to step into your purpose. Why do you think you've experienced these things while others seem to float through life unaware? Because darkness recognized your light before you did. The enemy has worked tirelessly to make you doubt yourself, to keep you distracted, to make you believe you're crazy for feeling what you feel, for knowing what you know. But tonight, everything changes. Tonight, as the 144,000 unite in the spiritual realm, a power will surge through creation that cannot be stopped. The Bible tells us in Romans 8:19, "For the creation waits with eager longing for the revealing of the sons of God." Creation has been waiting for you, chosen one. Can you feel that? The quickening in your spirit, the knowing in your soul, the certainty that you were created for this exact moment in time. Some of you are feeling your heart racing right now. Others are experiencing chills throughout your body. Many of you have tears welling up without understanding why. This is your spirit confirming what your mind may still question. For too long, you've dimmed your light to fit in. You've silenced your truth to avoid rejection. You've questioned your divine intuition because it didn't align with what the world told you was real. But no more tonight as you sleep. Your spirit will join with the other chosen ones in the higher realms. Divine codes will be activated within you. Sacred knowledge will be downloaded into your consciousness. Your spiritual gifts will be amplified beyond what you thought possible. And when you wake tomorrow, something will be different. You'll feel it. A certainty, a clarity, a power that wasn't there before. The world needs you now, not the version of you that's been hiding, but the divine being you were always meant to be, the one who stands in truth no matter the cost, the one who shines light in the darkest places, the one who remembers why they came to earth in this pivotal time. But, chosen one, you must be prepared. You must be ready to receive this divine activation. You must be willing to step fully into your purpose without reservation. Are you ready to leave behind the person you've been pretending to be and embrace the divine being you truly are? Because what I'm about to reveal next will forever change how you see yourself, your purpose, and the critical mission that's been assigned to you before you even entered this world. Sacred awakening, chosen one. What you're feeling right now, that electricity coursing through your body, that warmth spreading across your chest, is not imagination, it's recognition, divine recognition. The light is rising, and you are an integral part. When one of the 144,000 awakens, the entire grid vibrates. Do you understand what's happening at this very moment? Across America, from the sandy shores of Florida to the mountains of Montana, divine warriors are awakening. People just like you, sitting in their homes, are feeling this call. Revelation 7:3 tells us, "Do not harm the land or the sea or the trees until we put a seal on the foreheads of the servants of our God." That seal, chosen one, is being activated tonight. This is not random, this is not coincidence. This is a preordained moment that was written in the stars before you took your first breath. For decades, maybe your entire life, you felt like an outsider, like you were seeing a world that others couldn't see. You've wept at injustice while others walked by unaffected. You felt deep compassion when others showed none. You've questioned systems that everyone else blindly accepted. Do you know why? Because you were designed to see beyond the veil. Why else would the darkness have worked so hard against you? The opposition you faced, the doors that mysteriously closed, the relationships that fractured without reason. These weren't accidents. The dark forces are trembling because they recognize what you're only beginning to understand. Think about it. When was the last time you cried for no reason? When did you last wake up at exactly 3:33 or 4:44? How many times have you felt a presence beside you when nobody was there? These are the signals. This is your awakening. In Ephesians 5:14, Paul writes, "Wake up, sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you." This scripture wasn't just for then, it's for now, for this moment, for you. The enemy's greatest fear is that you'll finally recognize who you truly are. That's why there's so much noise in the world to drown out the voice of truth calling to your spirit. But you heard it anyway, didn't you? That's why you're still watching. Every action you take carries the frequency of light that pushes back the darkness. Every prayer, every act of kindness, every moment you choose faith over fear, it sends ripples through the spiritual realm. When you stood your ground in that impossible situation last month, you were functioning as one of the 144,000. When you showed compassion to someone who didn't deserve it, you were operating in your divine calling. When you prayed for healing instead of surrendering to despair, you were activating your spiritual DNA. Tonight, as the 144,000 unite in the spiritual realm, a power is being unleashed that cannot be stopped. The veils between dimensions are thinning, divine downloads are being transmitted, spiritual gifts are being activated. Some of you are feeling it physically right now, a tingling in your hands, a warmth in your chest, a lightness in your body. Others are experiencing sudden clarity, ideas connecting, mysteries making sense, truths being revealed. If you have cried, trembled, or felt the light in your heart while watching this, leave hallelujah in the comments below. Let the heavens know you have received the signal. This is not a game, this is not entertainment, this is a divine appointment. The book of Esther tells us that Mordecai said to Esther, "Who knows if perhaps you were made queen for just such a time as this?" I say to you now, who knows if perhaps you were placed on this earth, in this country, at this precise moment in history, for such a time as this. The enemy wants you distracted, disconnected, doubting. But tonight, the 144,000 are rising above the noise, above the confusion, above the fear. Can you feel it? The shifting in the atmosphere, the realignment of spiritual forces. This is the moment of sacred awakening. Your spirit recognizes this truth, even if your mind hesitates. That's the stirring you feel right now, chosen one. What happens next depends on your response. Will you step into the fullness of who you were created to be? Will you accept your divine assignment in these final hours? The spiritual realm awaits your answer. Heaven holds its breath. But before you decide, you must understand exactly what is being required of you. The path of the chosen is not easy, but the rewards are beyond imagination. Let me show you what awaits those who say yes to this divine calling. Unleash responsibility, step into action. Unity is not the end, it is the beginning. You are not just a receiver of light, you are a source of light. The world is drowning in darkness while you've been hiding your gifts. How much longer will you wait? How many more souls will remain lost because you hesitated? The book of Matthew tells us, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden," Matthew 5:14. Yet, how many of you have been dimming your light, afraid to stand in your power? Look at Mother Teresa, born in obscurity, yet she recognized her calling and stepped forward. One woman whose light shattered the darkness of poverty and suffering for thousands. She didn't question if she was worthy. She acted. And what about Nelson Mandela? 27 years in prison couldn't extinguish his light. He emerged, not broken but transformed, ready to heal a nation torn apart by hatred. Do you think these chosen ones waited for permission, for the perfect moment, for someone else to go first? They didn't wait because they couldn't. The calling burned within them until action was the only option. That same fire burns in you right now. Can you feel it? That urgency, that restlessness, that knowing you were made for more than just existing. The enemy wants you paralyzed by doubt, convinced your role is small, unimportant. But Esther 4:14 reminds us, who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Chosen one, tonight, after the spiritual alignment, you will walk with new clarity, new purpose, new power. But clarity without action is worthless. Are you a healer? Then heal. Are you a messenger? Then speak truth. Are you a warrior? Then fight against the darkness. Your first mission begins now. Share this message with 3 people whose souls you know are searching. This isn't about popularity, this is about responsibility. This is your first test as a light bearer. Oprah Winfrey once said, "The biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams." But I tell you this, the biggest responsibility you have is to live the life you were chosen for. The time for hiding is over. The time for questioning is over. The spiritual realm has activated you, and now you must activate others. When the 144,000 not only unite but act, the world will transform before our eyes. Evil cannot stand against our collective light. So I ask you, chosen one, what will you do with the power surging through you tonight? Will you shrink back into comfort, or will you step forward as the spiritual warrior you were always meant to be? The awakening has begun. Your mission is clear. Now rise and shine, for your light has come. Prophecy and transformation. Chosen one, what I'm about to reveal will forever change how you see the world around you. From tonight, the world will no longer be the same. Those who have awakened will see through illusions. Those who have not will begin to feel an invisible pull. The book of Daniel warns us, many shall be purified, made white and refined, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. Daniel 12:10. Look around you. Haven't you noticed the division growing deeper, relationships fracturing without explanation, dreams becoming more vivid, more prophetic? This isn't random, chosen one. What you're experiencing is the beginning of the great soul splitting, the separation between those awakening to divine truth and those still trapped in delusion. Your family members who suddenly can't understand you, your friends who seem increasingly distant, the unexplainable tension in your closest relationships. This is what Jesus meant in Matthew 10:35 when he said, "For I have come to set a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law." The systems you once trusted are crumbling before your eyes. The institutions you once believed in are being exposed. The veil is lifting, and you, yes you, are among the first to see what lies behind it. Can you feel it? That burning in your chest right now? That's not anxiety, that's spiritual activation. That's the divine fire being kindled within you. Tonight, as you sleep, your spirit will join the gathering of the 144,000. You may experience dreams so real they shake you to your core. You may wake with knowledge you never possessed before. You may feel an overwhelming sense of purpose that cannot be explained. This is not imagination. This is prophecy fulfilling itself through you. Revelation 7:3 tells us, "Do not harm the earth, the sea, or the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God on their foreheads." That sealing is happening now. The marking of the chosen ones is underway. When you wake tomorrow, you will see with new eyes. The deceptions that once fooled you will become transparent. The truths you've always sensed but couldn't articulate will flow from you like living water. This is your moment, chosen one, the moment everything you've endured was preparing you for. Comment, "I am one of the 144,000 if you know you are called, if you are activated, if you know the time is now." But be prepared, what comes next will test even the strongest among you. Wake up, not tomorrow, not in an hour, right now. The prophecy isn't just unfolding anymore, it has arrived. The spiritual transformation isn't coming, it's here. Can you feel that shift? That wasn't just energy passing through you, that was your soul being forever altered. In the book of Revelation, John wrote, "After this I looked, and there before me was a door standing open in heaven." Revelation 4:1. That door has just opened for you, chosen one. The difference between those who were merely called and those who are truly chosen comes down to this critical moment. Will you step through that door? Will you accept what has just been activated within you? Rise up now. The unification is complete. The energy has been exchanged. The divine download has finished. And now, tonight, you are not just connected, you are upgraded. Each soul has received a mission, a new energy, a divine power. Post-union rising, stepping into mission tonight, you are not just connected, you are upgraded. Each soul has received a mission, a new energy, a divine power. What you're feeling right now isn't just emotion, it's transformation, a spiritual DNA activation that the prophets of old could only glimpse in their most profound visions. The book of Ezekiel speaks of this moment. "I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you." I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. Ezekiel 3:6. This is happening to you now, chosen one. Can you feel it? That burning sensation in your chest, the clarity suddenly washing over your mind, the weight being lifted from your shoulders. These aren't coincidences, they're evidence of your spiritual metamorphosis. For decades, you've walked this earth feeling different, misunderstood, out of place, like you were born in the wrong time. People called you too sensitive, too spiritual, too concerned about things that don't matter. But they were wrong. You weren't too sensitive. You were awake when others were sleeping. You weren't out of place. You were a light worker in a darkened world. Your sensitivity wasn't weakness. It was your spiritual antenna, always attuned to the frequencies others couldn't perceive. And now, after tonight's divine union, that power has been amplified 1,000-fold. The 144,000 have connected across the spiritual realm, and each one of you has been assigned a specific mission critical for humanity's awakening. Some of you are feeling a call to guide, to become spiritual mentors for those just beginning to awaken. Right now, across America, people are stirring in their sleep, feeling the first tremors of spiritual consciousness. They'll need guides who've already walked the path. That might be your mission. Others among the 144,000 are being activated as healers, not just of bodies, but of souls, of bloodlines, of generational trauma. In Jeremiah 3:17, God promised, "I will restore you to health and heal your wounds." If you've always felt drawn to healing work, if your heart breaks at others' suffering, your spiritual DNA is being recoded right now to amplify this divine gift. Some of you are being called as intercessors, those who will hold space and maintain the frequency as the world goes through its most turbulent transition in history. Like spiritual power plants, you'll generate the divine energy needed for this global transformation. And then there are the leaders, those who will stand boldly at the front lines of the awakening community, not seeking glory or recognition, but driven by an unstoppable inner calling to speak truth when others fall silent. Is that fire burning in your heart right now, chosen one? Listen carefully. What you do in the next 24 hours is critical. This activation is powerful, but it needs to be anchored in the physical realm through your conscious intention and action. The enemy will try to make you doubt what's happening. They'll whisper that it was just emotion, just your imagination. They'll send distractions, health concerns, family drama, financial worries, anything to pull you away from this sacred moment of power. Do not let them win. In Romans 8:37, Scripture reminds us, "In all these things we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us." You were built for this moment. Every hardship you've endured was training for what comes next. The world is crying out for the light you now carry. Can you hear it? The silent screams of souls trapped in darkness, desperately seeking the very awakening you've been chosen to help facilitate. Your mission isn't about forcing others to see, it's about being the embodiment of divine truth so powerfully that it creates ripples across the collective consciousness. Your presence alone will shift the energy in every room you enter. Your words will carry the frequency of awakening. Your love will break chains that have bound souls for generations. What mission do you feel emerging within you right now? What divine purpose is crystallizing in your consciousness? Comment one word that describes it. Chosen one. As you step into this sacred mission, know that you're not alone. The other 143,999 souls are walking with you, connected through the tapestry of divine consciousness. The veil between you has been dissolved in tonight's union, and this is just the beginning. The power will continue to grow, the mission will continue to unfold, and the light will continue to spread, unstoppable, undeniable, and divinely ordained. Are you ready to arise, to step fully into the purpose you were created for since before time began? The world is waiting, your mission is calling, and after tonight's sacred union, nothing will ever be the same again. Overcome resistance and challenges. After the merger, the challenges will increase. The darkness knows you are enlightened, and it will try to make you doubt yourself. Listen closely, chosen one. The moment your soul awakened, you became a threat to the darkness, and it will fight back with everything it has. Have you noticed the sudden attacks on your mind? The overwhelming doubt, the anxiety that comes from nowhere, the strange feeling that something is trying to drag you back down. This is spiritual warfare. and it's happening inside your own mind. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Ephesians 6:12. The enemy knows that if they can control your thoughts, they can control your destiny. They can stop you from fulfilling your divine purpose as one of the 144,000. Look around you. Have you noticed that the people in your life suddenly feel different? Like you're speaking a language they can't understand, like there's a wall between you and them. This is because you're no longer vibrating at their frequency. You've been elevated, and this spiritual elevation will create distance between you and those who remain asleep. Even your closest family members may look at you like you've lost your mind. They might ridicule you, dismiss you, or try to bring you back to reality. And part of you will be tempted to go back, to return to the comfort of sleep, to pretend you never awakened, to silence the voice within you that knows the truth. The darkness will offer you this comfort, this false peace. But remember this, comfort is the enemy of purpose. Your soul didn't come here for comfort, it came here for transformation, for divine service. In the book of Revelation, John writes about the sealing of God's servants, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Revelation 7:4. You were sealed before birth for this moment in history. Your struggles weren't punishment, they were preparation. The attacks will come, the doubt will come, the loneliness will come, but so will your strength, so will your clarity, so will your purpose. If you feel attacked after awakening, you are not crazy, you are leveling up. Drop a yes in the comments right now to show you are not backing down. Let the spiritual realm witness your commitment. Let the forces of darkness know that you recognize their tactics and you will not surrender your light. The question isn't whether you'll face resistance, the question is, will you remember who you truly are when that resistance comes? The choice stage, becoming a lighthouse, the awakening has begun. The spiritual realm is stirring, but now, chosen one, you face the most important decision of your existence. Now you have to choose, hide or rise, live an old life, or become a spiritual lighthouse in this dark night. Look around you. What do you see? A world drowning in darkness, souls wandering without purpose, people who've forgotten their divine connection. They're searching, but they don't even know what they're searching for. Matthew 5:14-15 tells us, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house." But I understand your fear. It's easier to hide, isn't it? You could choose to ignore this calling, keep your head down, blend in with the sleeping masses, never speak of what you've felt or seen, never risk being called crazy or delusional. Or you could become what you were always meant to be, a beacon, a lighthouse, a living testament to divine truth that guides others through the storm. Isaiah 61 proclaims, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you." Tonight, as the 144,000 unite in the spiritual realm, their collective energy will amplify. But this isn't just about receiving power, it's about becoming power. Do you understand what I'm saying to you right now? Your grandchildren, your neighbors, even strangers you pass on the street, they're waiting for someone to show them the way. They're waiting for you. In 5 years, will you look back at this moment as the night you finally stepped into your divine purpose? Or will it be just another missed opportunity? This dark world doesn't need more people hiding their light. It needs fire. It needs those brave enough to stand in their truth, even when no one else understands. Tonight, the veil is thin, the connection is strong, the 144,000 are uniting, and you must decide, will you be merely a witness to this great awakening, or will you be its catalyst? Who among you is ready to become the fire of awakening for the world? Right, I will light it under this video right now. Your declaration isn't just words on a screen, it's a spiritual contract, a commitment to step into the role you were created for since before time began. The darkness trembles when the chosen ones recognize their power, and make no mistake, they know exactly who you are. Becoming a lighthouse requires preparation. Your light must be protected, focused, and pure enough to pierce through generations of spiritual blindness, expose the illusion, and activate the power. Listen to me closely, chosen one. The veil is lifting now. Can you see it? This world is an illusion. The systems you once believed in are collapsing. But you are being raised up to build a new world. For decades, they fed you lies. The media telling you what to fear, religious institutions controlling you through guilt, financial systems designed to keep you dependent. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. Ephesians 6:12. Have you noticed how they keep you distracted, always worried about tomorrow, always feeling like you're not enough? That's how darkness operates, through fear, false evidence appearing real. But tonight, as the 144,000 unite in the spiritual realm, that grip of fear is being shattered. Look at your life, chosen one. The unexplainable synchronicities, the dreams that felt more real than your waking hours, the persistent feeling that you were meant for more. These weren't coincidences. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you, Jeremiah 1:5. You were chosen before time began. Before your first breath, you were set apart for this moment in history. Do you understand what's happening right now? The spiritual frequencies are aligning. The 144,000 souls mentioned in Revelation 7:4 are awakening to their divine purpose. And you're feeling it, aren't you? That fire in your spirit that won't let you look away from this message. You are no longer a victim. You are the one called, the one empowered, the one who will rewrite the history of light. For too long you've played small. For too long you've doubted your power. For too long you've waited for someone else to change the world. But the waiting is over. The people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits, Daniel 11:32. Tonight, as you sleep, your spirit will join the others. Divine knowledge will be imparted. Spiritual gifts will be activated. You will wake tomorrow changed. The time for hesitation is over. The time for doubt is over. The time for fear is over. Type, I am awakened right now, if you are ready not just to see, but to act. The darkness trembles at this very moment because it knows once the 144,000 claim their power, nothing can stop the light from spreading. Will you take your place among them? Jesus is awakening. Call for unity. Do you feel that connection growing stronger, that invisible thread binding your spirit to something greater? That's no accident, chosen one. You are not walking alone. Each of the 144,000 is receiving the same signal, whether in America, Vietnam, Brazil, or Africa. We are becoming one. Right now, at this very moment, a grandmother in Texas is feeling the same spiritual awakening as a shopkeeper in Seoul. A retired teacher in Florida is experiencing the same divine calling as a fisherman in Cape Town. Look around you. The world appears divided, broken, lost in darkness. But what you're seeing is only the surface, the illusion they want you to believe. Beneath it all, a sacred network is forming. The 144,000 nodes of divine light connecting across every border, every ocean, every barrier man has created. The book of Revelation warned us of this moment. Then I looked, and behold, a lamb standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, Revelation 14:1. What the dark forces don't want you to realize is that this prophecy isn't just ancient text, it's happening now, in our lifetime. They've worked for centuries to keep us isolated, to make the chosen ones feel crazy, different, outcasts. Why? Because they fear what happens when we unite. Have you felt more alone these past years than ever before? Have your relationships become strained for reasons you can't explain? Have people called your spiritual insights crazy or conspiracy theories? That's their strategy: isolation, division, doubt. They know that a chosen one who doubts their calling is neutralized. But tonight, that changes. The spiritual realm doesn't recognize the artificial boundaries of nations or time zones. When the 144,000 unite tonight, it will create a sacred grid of protection around this planet that no darkness can penetrate. Think about it. Why else would you be feeling these things? Why else would strangers across the globe be experiencing the same awakening at the same time? Why else would you be here right now receiving this message? Remember what Jesus said in Matthew 18:20. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, I am there in the midst of them. Now imagine the power when 144,000 gather in spirit. The evil forces controlling this world are terrified of this moment. They've worked tirelessly to keep you distracted with fear, with politics, with hatred, with endless entertainment and noise. But they failed. You're here. You're awake. You're feeling the call. The chosen one, awakening, is just the beginning. Now comes the sacred responsibility. You must keep your vibration high every day, not just tonight, but in every moment. When they try to pull you into arguments, into fear, into judgment, recognize the trap and rise above it. You must share your awakening knowledge, not by preaching, but by being the light. Your very presence will disrupt the darkness around you. Some will be drawn to you without knowing why. Others will attack you, sensing you're different. Both reactions confirm your calling, and most importantly, you must protect each other. On the spiritual battlefield, the enemy will target the awakened ones with increased force after tonight's unification. Psychic attacks, health challenges, relationship conflicts, financial struggles. These are not random. They are calculated strikes against the light you carry. This is why we must know who stands together. Write your country, plus I am one in the comments below so we can see the sacred map forming. Let the spiritual realm witness your courage. Let your fellow light warriors know they're not alone. From New York to New Delhi, from Seattle to Sydney, the grid is forming. Tonight, as you sleep, your spirit will join the gathering. Some will remember it as vivid dreams, others will wake with a profound sense of peace. Many will feel surges of energy running through their bodies, but all will be changed. Ask yourself this: if you knew without doubt that you were chosen before birth for this exact moment in history, would you still hesitate to declare yourself? The time for hiding in the shadows is over, chosen one. The 144,000 are rising, and tonight the world changes forever. Applying the chosen one's concept to modern life in today's fast-paced world, the metaphor of being among the chosen ones offers a powerful framework for self-improvement, regardless of your spiritual beliefs. While the 144,000 concept draws from biblical prophecy, its psychological essence speaks to something universal, the human desire for purpose and meaning. Consider how many of us feel like outsiders in modern society, disconnected in an age of supposed connection. This feeling isn't a flaw, but potentially a sign that you're attuned to deeper truths than our often superficial culture acknowledges. Your sensitivity could be your strength. The concept of spiritual awakening can be practically applied through mindfulness practices. Take 5 minutes each morning to sit in silence, focusing only on your breath. This simple ritual creates space between your thoughts and your reactions, allowing you to respond to life's challenges with intention rather than habit. When you feel overwhelmed by world events, try this perspective shift. Ask yourself what unique contribution you might make, however small, to bring light to a specific situation. Perhaps it's a kind word to someone struggling, or standing firm for truth in a conversation. These small acts create ripples far beyond what we can see. Community remains essential for human flourishing in an age of isolation. Actively seek connections with others who share your deeper values. This doesn't require grand gestures. Simply reaching out to a neighbor, joining a community group, or participating in service projects creates meaningful bonds that sustain us through difficult times. Consider keeping a synchronicity journal. When meaningful coincidences occur, when you notice repeated patterns, or when something stirs your soul deeply, record it. Over time, you may discover threads of meaning that were invisible in isolated moments. The idea of raising your vibration translates practically to curating what you consume. Be intentional about the media you watch, the conversations you participate in, and the thoughts you dwell on. Ask whether they drain or energize you, depress or inspire you, and adjust accordingly. Remember that spiritual growth isn't measured by extraordinary experiences but by ordinary responses. How you treat the grocery store cashier, whether you pause before reacting in anger, how you speak to yourself when you make mistakes. These daily choices form the true measure of awakening. Finally, embrace the paradox that you are both utterly unique and completely connected to everyone else. Your individual journey matters tremendously, yet it only finds its ultimate meaning in how it serves the greater whole. This balance of honoring your distinct path while recognizing your place in the broader human family offers wisdom for navigating our complex world. In the end, whether you see yourself as one of the 144,000 or simply as a human being trying to live, with greater awareness, the invitation remains the same: to bring more light, more compassion, and more authenticity into every corner of your life. In doing so, you help create the very awakening the world so desperately needs. Explosive ending, awakening manifesto, chosen one. We've traveled far together in these moments. You felt the stirrings, recognized the signs, and now stand at the threshold of your divine purpose. Remember what you've learned today. The struggles you've endured weren't random, they were preparation. The isolation wasn't punishment, it was protection. The battles that nearly broke you were forging you into who you are meant to be. Tonight, as the spiritual realm aligns and the 144,000 unite in divine purpose, I want you to stand in your truth, to claim your place, to declare your awakening. Rise to your feet if you're able. Place your hand over your heart and repeat these words with me. I am one of the 144,000. I have been called. I have been awakened. I am the light in the darkness. I am the warrior of the soul. And now it is my time to act. Again, feel the power of these words resonating in your very being. I am one of the 144,000. I have been called. I have been awakened. I am the light in the darkness. I am the warrior of the soul. And now it is my time to act. Beloved, you are not alone in this journey. The divine hand that has guided you thus far will not abandon you now. And there are others scattered across this nation, across this world, who stand with you, even if you cannot see them yet. What will you do with this awakening? Will you let it fade by morning, or will you carry this fire forward? Let us pray together. Heavenly Father, Lord of all creation, we come before you now with humble hearts and awakened spirits. Bless these chosen ones who have heard your call. Strengthen them for the journey ahead. When darkness presses in, be their unwavering light. When doubt creeps in, be their solid foundation. Lord, we ask that you shield them with your mighty protection as they step boldly into their divine purpose. Open doors that no man can shut. Make crooked paths straight before them. Give them wisdom beyond their years and courage beyond their strength. And Father, help them recognize each other, those fellow light bearers walking this sacred path. Let them find community, support, and love among your chosen ones.